Yep, always on time. So, why exactly in the thumbnail is there a piece of wood and a lathe? Well, the answer to that would be economics. But first, let's listen to Andrew Wilson show us how he knows nothing about economics.
You have, for example, like Amazon. If it was structured in a way that the workers of Amazon were sharing in the profits, then that wealth would have been more evenly distributed. It wouldn't have all gone to a small group of people.
They are sharing in the profits.
RTB, can you clarify? Are you talking about business taxes or personal income taxes? Personal earned income taxes or business taxes? It sounds like you're conflating them.
Yeah. So you're right. Yeah. So the corporate tax rate, I would also would have went up to 28%. So you have both the income tax rate and then the corporate tax rate would be at 28%.
How are workers not participating in the benefits of the corporation if they're getting a paycheck? How is
I didn't say that.
No. Here's what you actually said. Your exact words were this trickles up. And if it was the case that we were able, you said that employees need to get a profit share. Am I wrong?
I said if the employees were in Amazon's case, if the employees had profit sharing,
they're getting profit sharing though.
The wealth, no, I'm talking about profit sharing, not
that
wages.
Is profit sharing
on top of their wages. If they were also getting profit sharing,
how is wages not profit sharing?
Instead of it being concentrated,
yeah, how are wages not profit sharing?
If it was more equally distributed.
Now, notice not one single person here is pointing out to him that wages aren't necessarily profit sharing.
How are wages not profit sharing?
And the wealth inequality would not have been so severe.
How are wages not profit sharing?
Because it would have been more evenly distributed.
Yeah, how are wages not profit sharing though?
Fuck.
Do me a favor. Tell me that you know nothing about economics without telling me you know nothing about economics. You keep repeating the same question. Unfortunately, nobody on this panel has the balls to challenge you. Unfortunately, also, I was sitting in the back waiting to come up. It's not. It's just simply not. Do you see the block of wood in my thumbnail that is uncrafted sitting on the lathe? Is it a toy train? Has it sold? No. It's just a block of wood.
How are wages not profit sharing?
I said on top of wages, you would also
have.
But
what's my question? What's my question?
Well, it's a straw man once again.
What's my question? What's my question? What's my question?
Now, as far as straw man, a little before this, he rambled on about what this guy has on his channel and what his ideology is because of what he has on his channel. Has nothing to do with addressing the subject of would Kamala Harris be better than Trump for president? Instead, it is a complete ad hominem attack. It's, oh, look, you have this channel and this channel does that, personal attack, and you believe this because of that personal attack. There's not one bit of that had any substance that wasn't ad hominem. Now here, you are totally conflating the idea that wages are profit sharing. Now, I would argue that wages are a raw material, like that piece of wood. It's not a train, it's not in a shop, and it hasn't sold.
What's my question?
You're an ideologue.
What's my fucking question?
So you're now reframing this in a way that I didn't say.
All the add-ons.
Wages not profit sharing.
Question. People would have wages, and they would also have profit.
How is wages not profit sharing? How are wages not profit sharing?
I said on top of that.
Yeah, how are wages not profit sharing though?
Anybody else want to go?
Yeah, how are wages not profit sharing? No, I want you to answer my question. Are wages profit sharing?
Go fuck
Are wages profit sharing?
Are wages profit sharing?
Answer the fucking question.
I've already answered it. This is
yes or no? Yes or no?
Rob and Andrew are both dipshits who have to reframe questions.
How do I reframe my own question?
Basic economics.
How can I reframe?
Now, still, not one single person has answered to him, other than, of course, the single person that has explained to him or tried to explain to him that it's not.
my own question. What do you?
Hello, sirloin.
Fucking thing about policy. This is just a Christian nationalist ideologue.
You
who is
ever
now-
going to
Okay,
answer?
I'm
the
glad you
question?
brought that. I'm
making,
glad you
and
brought
now
that
he's
up.
now he's trying to back me into a corner for a claim that I didn't make because
Bro.
he's too fucking stupid. to understand
Are
basic
wages
stuff.
profit sharing or not?
What's
Yes,
an ad hom?
no. Answer question. Are wages profit sharing or not?
I've already answered your question, Andrew. Go
Yes
fuck
or no? Just yes or no, bro.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you can't answer.
Now him and his buddy do the same thing. His buddy, Rob Knorr here, the little marshmallow with a beard. This marshmallow, he does the same thing. He spent almost an hour asking the guy for one piece of data set. Move the conversation forward. Jesus, if you're not getting the answer you want, then step in with what you're trying to explain. He clearly said no. He didn't think it was profit sharing. Explain to him how it is. Yeah, marshmallow with a beard over here, Rob Knorr. I didn't know how else to describe him except for the little marshmallow with a beard that likes to ask people about their athleticism.
Everyone else is stupid. You can't answer a basic question.
RTP Tux, let me ask you a different question. If it's true that
RTP
you want these tariffs, you don't want
Tariffs.
tariffs, right? I think that's
Tariffs.
No, I'm okay with tariffs.
Notice the conversation was on tariffs, right? Anywho, that's what I'll be going on to today. Now, as far as this claim about whether or not wages are profit sharing, I'll dive into that really quick, and then maybe I'll do another show exactly on that subject. The wooden block and the lathe on my thumbnail. What is wrong with that wooden block? It's not crafted into a product. The product we're trying to make is a little wooden train. Well, we need an employee. We'll just go ahead and we'll imagine that the power is paid for, and we'll go ahead and we'll imagine that the building that we're using to craft the wooden trains in is paid for. Now we need an employee, and that employee will say can lathe a group of those wooden blocks into a train, and it'll take them approximately an hour to do so. You know, he's a lazy worker, we'll say. And we'll even say as gluing all the pieces together and making the train complete. An hour. Now you've paid that employee for an hour of work to make you a train. Great. You have a train. Now that employee can make 8 of those trains in a day if he works a standard 8-hour day. Now you have these 8 wonderful wooden trains, and you have paid an employee, or you have to pay an employee, that 8-hour shift. Now, you're not just going to lay off that employee and wait to sell those trains. No, you're going to get out there and try to get those trains in a shop. Or you're going to put the trains into your own shop, which you have an employee that you're going to pay for an 8-hour day to sell those trains. Man, you're going to make a bunch of money, a lot of profit. Unfortunately, nobody likes your stinking trains, so they didn't buy your trains. You didn't make any profit, but yet you still have employees to pay. At the end of the week, you still have employees to pay, but you didn't sell any trains. Now, I understand the logic that Andrew Wilson, Olive Jar Wilson, or Ballface Andrew, whichever one you want to call him. I understand the broken logic that he's going on. Oh, we have this magical corporation who's already running and making money, and they just take the money that they're making and they pay their employees because the product is already selling. Well, even that can fall apart, and I will explain in a different episode. But let's get this show started.
It's a tough game we play.
Marshmallow Rob.
Chasing clicks and likes in the digital wave. With each upload, our stories unfold in a world where the truth is often sold. Oh, screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to simpleton trolls, in this digital realm, anything goes. Friendships tested in the quest for fame. Content creators, most have no shame. With every collab there's trust at stake, but in this world some friendships break. Ooh, anything goes. Screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to simpleton trolls, in this digital realm, anything goes. Tales of truth, some of deceit. Chasing trends in a race we repeat. The pressure mounts as views decline. In the search for truth, where do we draw the line? Screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to simpleton trolls, in this digital realm, anything goes. Fabricating evidence just for the views. A double-edged sword in the news we choose. The line between real and fake is thin as the audience questions what lies within. Oh, screw to the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to simpleton trolls, in this digital realm, anything goes. Highs are thrilling when the numbers soar, but the lows hit hard down to the core. The grind continues day after day in the endless pursuit of the viral.
Hello, KDD. I'm not sure if I said hello to Sirloin. GMK, hello. Anything goes. Yeah, it's all the stupidity I absorb.
In the end, it's about the story we tell in the ScrewTube world where we excel. Honesty and trust, our guiding light as we navigate this digital flight. Oh, ScrewTube, the land of the brave, where the algorithms rule and views we crave. From viral highs to the demonetized lows, when you sell your soul in this digital realm, anything goes.
And I would say that's correct, Nicody. The wages are basically the raw materials before you make your profit. You shouldn't ever consider your wages as your profit, because then you'll run into problems in business. Oh, it's just starting. I had a little bit to ramble about before I got into the actual meat of today's subject. So apparently my confidence is frightening. Well, I'm paraphrasing there, but somebody didn't like the confidence level that I had and thought that I was changing the subject. Unfortunately, I will be showing today, one, that I wasn't changing the subject. The subject was most clearly tariffs at the time. You just were rambling with the other guy about show me the data set that you were arguing about for at least an hour and a half. And I mean, that's so you get stuck in a circle. You got this little soy boy. He won't show you the data set that you're asking him to show. He's clearly being a little bitch. He won't show it at all. So what do? You stop. You tell the person, look, man, I'm going to go ahead and trust you that you'll send me the data set. And if you don't send me the data set, I'm going to make you look like a freaking fool online. And every time I see you on any panel, I will make you look like a fool. I will pull up where you told me you were going to give me the data set and you didn't give me the data set. Now, apparently, some guy on this panel seems to think that's not the way you should do YouTube. I don't really give a fuck. Look, man, if somebody's going to be dishonest to me in my face and tell me they're going to give me a data set and then refuse that data set, yes, I will call them out every single time. Now, this clown was talking about tariffs, and so I keep getting kicked because, well, apparently people don't like to actually engage in a true logical conversation. If they say it's my voice or whatever, I'm sorry if I probably got a little more testosterone than most of you on that little panel. And, you know, I don't have to pretend that I have some sort of forced doctrine, but yet cry that another man's confidence level is why you want to whine like a little baby over the top of him. That's pathetic. Oh yeah, and we got some shiz junk coming up as well. Shiz apparently, so I showed you the other day where she was unable to run the stream by herself. She couldn't pull up anything to show anything, and she was basically just floundering until eventually a young lady came up that is a disgusting young lady. Of course, Shiz has paneled her before, as she says, platformed her. So Shiz has platformed her, and they're having this discussion about how disgusting she is. And she hands Shiz the best piece to argue on. And Shiz has a guy that's, I would say is, I don't know if he's a true PhD, he says he's a doctor or whatever, but I would say he's capable of arguing what was just presented, but Shiz chickened out. Shiz chickened out. That's why I want Shiz to come to my channel, because I don't have to worry about being muted and I don't have to be worried about being silenced, just dropped, because you can't make an argument. You can't make an argument. You were given the smoking gun and you couldn't make the argument.
Get kicked, but I have a quick question of clarification. Like earlier, we were talking about the tariff policy.
Tariffs? Is that what we're talking about? Tariffs?
And how Rob was comparing it to like just raising taxes on the 1%. Rob, don't you agree that like way more business owners who are not in the 1% of earners, who are like small business owners who just import goods from outside the country, are going to be more likely to be impacted by the tariffs, and also they are less likely to be able to absorb that, and they're going to have to pass it on to the consumer more so than like Amazon or Walmart, who are
yes, it is true
anyway.
It is true if the taxation was just on the top 1%. However, what we see is that tax cuts benefit those same middle class people as well. And so what you'll end up seeing is that there's going to be some winners and some losers. But because the status quo is unsustainable, particularly for U.S. manufacturing, it will be more wins for those people if Trump's policies work out as predicted.
Notice the conversation is about tariffs very clearly. Now, the problem here is he's trying to suggest that these tariffs are going to force companies to work in the U.S. Unfortunately, I have proof that's sitting on President Trump's desk that says that these tariffs are not going to scare companies into not manufacturing in China. One example is Tim Apple, wasn't that the guy's name? I mean, yeah, Tim Cook gave Trump a gold bar, and on that gold bar is a piece of glass. Of course, next year it'll need a new charging mechanism, seeing that it's Apple, but that's fine. They'll give them a new gold bar and a new piece of glass in order to protect them from the tariffs. Is the plan of that entire gold bar is that they don't get tariffed, because the same exact day, Tim Cook put on his Twitter that he's going to continue to manufacture in China because Americans don't have the necessary skill set to work with the small tools needed to build Apple phones. So no, those large corporations will most certainly eat that tariff. Now, they're not going to eat that tariff. They're going to pass the price down to each one of the items they sell until they pay off that tariff. Now, then they're going to just go ahead and continue shipping. There's another good example of this is the tree service in Oregon. They'll go out and they'll clear cut a field. Now, it's a requirement by law that they replace the trees. They stump the trees that are there and they replace them with saplings to continue growing a new old growth to be cut again, or new growth to be cut again. Unfortunately, these companies would willingly pay the fines and leave empty patches on the side of the mountain with stumps all over the place, never planting one single sapling, because it's easier to transfer the price of the fine to the board feet of wood than it is to plant the saplings, to stump the tree grind, to stump the stumps and plant saplings. But most of this is me just pointing out that we're clearly talking about tariffs.
We've already seen that with the trade deals, with all the investment opportunities that are being put forth, with the fact that things like U.S. manufacturing of automobiles will now be under less reciprocal tariffs from places like Europe, which will open up that market. It also encourages, because of a baseline tariff, for companies that elsewise would have went to cheap labor countries like Mexico or China to build those products in the United States, because they know that their products won't be as competitive.
Nope. I just explained how that's not happening.
If people domestically have to pay those tariff prices, so they'll be outcompeted by people in the huge U.S. market that are producing those things back home.
Tariffs is very clearly what this is talking
and
about.
Again,
and no, it's not forcing those manufacturers to start manufacturing that back at home. They're just going to pass the price down to the consumer. A good example of that would be, okay, even Chinese companies that are Chinese companies that want to sell to the U.S. What happens with those tariffs? Well, I have some drone batteries, and I'm glad I bought them now because I got them for $58 a piece. And the next ones in line are $85 a piece. So, yeah, the tariffs are not helping us at all. And you know what's really weird? There's been one country that hasn't received any tariffs under Trump. Russia. Now, of course, they're tariffing other countries and they're claiming that it's going to affect Russia because they're Russia's trading allies. However, have you ever heard of a shadow government? How hard is it for Trump and Putin to be getting together and saying, hey, tariff this country, tariff that country, and then I'll pretend like it's bothering me? There's never been a tariff by Trump put on Russia. Collusion.
Even there, her first term with Biden there, they had tariffs and things of that nature. So no, it wouldn't be fair to say that it was literally tariffs or corporate tax that's progressive. Under Trump, we also have corporate taxes that are on a progressive.
Now, I should point out this title of this show was, would Kamala Harris be better president than Trump? And a lot of that is an emotional appeal, because what they ended up trying to tie it down to was how the economy was doing under Biden versus how the economy is doing under Trump. And that's not really a good example, because Kamala Harris was vice president, and the vice president doesn't necessarily have a lot to do with economic affairs. There's other jobs that the vice president does. It's the president's job to help stimulate the economy, and it's Congress's job to then follow up and boost with that stimulus, boost the economy.
scale. So no, the importance of this question, and like, I'm not trying to be a dick about it. Like, the importance of this data questions, because this is where the entire.
Oh yeah,
debate
that's
stems.
exactly what the
RTP
tariffs
saying,
are for.
You guys can't hear. You never listen. You are blah 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 blah. He can't provide the very first
what
person.
I said.
He
That's
can't
how bad
even
you are at
provide.
listening.
He can't provide a piece of data.
I forgot. Oh yeah, that's why I paused it, because he's been going on about this piece of data forever. Matter of fact, he also complained about the stupid little sign for like 2.5 hours. There's people still in the Discord making jokes about the little sign. You know how powerful that little sign was? I thought it was just a stupid little gimmick. You know how powerful that little sign was? People are talking about it for days. It must have really stung. Hey, Night Wolf, how are you doing?
Data. What is the name of the organization, RTP? I'm going to look it up myself.
It is CFRB or CRFB.
Okay, I'm looking and it claims that the CFRB does not do things like keep data on real wage growth. That's what I'm reading as I look it up.
So they cite data. They're not they don't collect the data. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that it says that
Still waiting for
they
Mexico to
don't do
pay.
things like creating data.
Listen, Rob. I'll send it to you. I'll look for it. I'll try.
And my
I'll find
steak
it.
prices to come down.
You're not going to. I'll tell you right now what you're
Okay.
going to do. You're going to say when no one's watching.
What he does, in order for Rob to Rob's going to now.
He's
tell me
worried
what I'm
about
doing.
what's going to
You are
happen when no
such
one's
a little
watching.
bitch. It is crazy. You can't take any answer
Bro,
from anybody.
bro.
In order
Okay,
for
then
you
we'll
to
see.
now
We'll see.
say
When you
We'll
get
see.
a paper in
always have
college,
to
if you
tell
write a
everybody
paper in
else
college and you
We'll see.
quote a source
Terry,
and you
we'll see.
don't quote
it's
that
easy to
source,
prove
it won't
me
get
wrong.
accepted.
It's easy to prove me wrong.
Rob didn't
It's
cite a
easy.
single source from today.
That's
Not
not
one
true.
time
I
did he
started off
cite a
citing
single
sources.
source. In fact, the first
No,
source that he
oh man, his source, his best source that he gave was a TikTok or Twitter. Sorry, Twitter. You can't even call it Twitter now. It's X. And I guess you really can't call it a tweet anymore, even though most people over on X still call it a tweet. Tweet was from Twitter. It was Twitter's tweet. You got to have an X. You're just making X. You're out there making X. X. Everything you say is an X.
cited, he had to walk back. He's like, I don't even know where this
Yeah,
is
but we're
from.
talking
That's
about
not
your
true at
source.
all. I
Walk
saw
back.
Your
every
claim.
source.
We're talking
It's
about your
fine.
claim.
It's fine. I will get it. The only reason I don't have this source is because I didn't link it in my outline, and now I'm going to have to go back through my research and find it. And when I find it, I'll be happy to send it.
Here's
to Rob.
what's going to
But
happen.
what I
So,
didn't do is
yeah,
put a
but
hyperlink.
Okay, don't tell us what's going to happen. Well, if you're going to tell us what's going to happen, then explain it. Say what you're going to do to affect Wyatt after it happens, to affect his ability to do this again, not show the data that he's trying, and then move the conversation forward. You've been on this one piece of data set all night.
It's
Keep
going to be
my
offline, which is the
I keep
point.
it.
Would you call that a
Never
source
gonna
of
happen.
equality?
So
Never
it's
gonna
not going to
happen.
happen. That data
Did you say
does not
source
exist. And what
inequality?
you're going to do when no one's
Source
watching
inequality.
is you'll send
That's
something
fair.
small and be like,
No one's
"Oh, yeah, okay, a
watching.
little
See?
mistake." When you were wrong, you're
Why
even
don't you
wrong here.
stop
You're saying that I
predicting?
didn't.
Why don't you
You
just
can't
stop
even help yourself with
predicting
it.
stuff?
You can't even stop interrupting here now, right? Like that's what's going to
Because you're
happen when
just
no one's
predicting
watching.
what
Is see,
you do.
yeah, you're right. I am
Who cares
predicting
about
because
this?
you know that you're wrong on the data. Everyone here knows. Everybody knows. Like I get it.
Everybody knows.
Hold up a sign.
We're gonna do.
Come on, you can do it. Hold up a sign. Go ahead.
I
That's
already
what you're
did.
best
I
at, right?
fucking
Holding up a
nailed
sign.
it on those signs, by the
Oh,
way.
you
That
did
was
nail it, man. You
good.
did great.
I've gotten
You
so
know that
many
you're wrong.
compliments
You
on
know
those
that you're
signs.
wrong on the data. Every one of us know, and what you're going to do is say, "Oh, here it is. Read it yourself," and you're never going to address it because this is what someone like you does.
God,
You
move the
lie
conversation
intentionally.
forward. Okay,
You
you've
know that this
accused
doesn't
him.
say
Now
real
you've
wage
accused
growth
him
was
like
up on
4
average of
times, 10
2.4 to
times,
2.7%.
18 times.
You know it. I showed the data. You know it. Everyone. Is there anyone here, Brick? Anyone on the left? Cersei, your argument is you think that real wage growth was up on average of 2.2 to 2.7% under Joe Biden? That's the argument that the people defending you are going to make. Is there anyone in the world that believes that other than RTP right now? He
Bro,
can't admit,
I'm
I
not
probably
left.
misread it.
I'm not even fucking left. What the
I
fuck
don't.
are you
You're a
talking
socialist.
about?
What the fuck are you
I'm
talking
not
about? You were
socialist, bro.
defending
I'm
RTP.
center right. I know my fucking political ideology, bro. I'm
You
center
said
right.
that the
Crowdsourcing
Constitution is a
is outrage.
Bro,
socialist
yeah, no
document.
shit.
You're
It's a
a
social document.
constitutionalist.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man, you tried to say
Bro,
that you were
you don't
defending RTP and are capable of fucking even having common sense.
Well,
Is
I
there
needed
anyone
a
here-
sign
is there
saying
anyone
I'll
here that
answer
remotely
if you
thinks that
shut
that's
the
what that
fuck up
data's
and
gonna
let me.
suggest?
Read
Anyone?
some fucking
Is there
common
anyone?
sense.
Is
Just
RTP
talking
the
about
only?
He's asking and talking at the same time. Hey, anybody want to answer this? Does anybody want to answer this? Anybody want to answer it? Anybody want to answer it? Anybody want to answer it? What is he? Oh my God! When do you give somebody a time to step in and say if they want to answer it or not? Jackwagon.
everybody.
It's like listening to an auctioneer. He's trying to see how many words he can fit in there. It's almost like the flat earth idea. The more words I say, the more I win. Oh yeah, by the way, he considers everything he does a win. Every time he speaks, as soon as he gets done, he peacocks how it's a victory.
Hey, Rob Noah's got to be right. He's always fucking right. He
I
wins
am
everything.
right.
He's a winner.
It's not that I have to be right. It's
Oh
that
my
I
gosh.
am.
That's what happens when you say true
Calm
things.
down, Ric Flair.
On the tariffs,
Thank
I
you for
keep
the
hearing
compliment.
another
Woo!
fairy tale. I would say that these tariffs are going to bring businesses.
We're changing the subject. Great. Not
No, it's been on tariffs. You've been crying about stupid data points when everybody else in the room has been trying to talk about these tariffs. Now, I think I'm just going to go out there and throw this out there. I think that you have no meat on that bone. You have no meat to talk about it within the tariffs. So you want to try to avoid that conversation at all cost.
interested.
Well,
Seriously,
you
you're
guys
not.
and yeah, I can see your point there, but it is kind of the gauntlet. I am responsible for making my argument, I guess. And she could see that he was doing a babble over me, but one thing that's funny, because I have more testosterone than this little fat little dumpling here, Marshmallow Man. He can babble over me. All he sounded like was a chipmunk. Every word I spoke was clear, sir.
Moving the conversation forward on the topic that we're talking about.
We're
You're
not
not
really
moving the
changing the
conversation forward.
subject.
So
The tariffs
I'm just going to
were
go ahead and
definitely
interrupt
brought
you.
up
You're
just a moment
moving the
ago.
conversation
When
forward.
we're talking about the tariffs, the claim was
I'm not
made
interested in what you're saying.
Guess what? Every word I spoke was clear. Why? Because most of you are a bunch of little whiny bitches.
We
You're
all
already
just try to
doing
move
this,
the
Rob.
conversation in a different direction. I don't really.
All I had to do was sign up for tier 2. Cause you're my Patreon girl, and your love for me depends on how much money that I pledge to you monthly.
Now, what's funny here, from this point on, he's going to explain when I tell him why he's talking over me, is that he's worried about my confidence that I can change the subject. I wasn't changing the subject. Everybody was talking about tariffs. And I'll soon get kicked because I guess I sound like Bullwinkle, which is kind of a personal attack, but whatever. Anyway, so I get kicked because I sound like Bullwinkle. I think that's called an ad hom. But the conversation goes strictly to tariffs. Strictly to tariffs.
Awesome. That was a sick
All
video.
right. Let's
Sorry,
stop being stupid. Let's just stop being stupid. Brick, you got it in the back too.
Brick got it in the back.
Ryan
Sorry, I had
still
to go
has
there.
his 20 back there.
But the tariffs were brought up. and it
Seriously, I'm
was
not
mentioned.
interested in what you have to say. Trying to move the conversation.
Who cares? You're not the only person on the panel. I could talk to tariffs about anybody else on the panel. Everybody on this panel, I'm sure, has some idea about tariffs. Not just you. I know you were the person debating, but obviously you don't want to talk about this subject. So give the floor to somebody who does.
You can get invited on as a guest
Yeah.
and take the conversation in the way you want.
I
I'm not
agree.
interested
There you go,
in
Rob, let it
having
all
you
out.
move
Well,
the
okay, the
conversation
title
in the
is
direction that
Kamala
you want it
Harris.
to.
I gotta ask
don't
you a
give
question
shit where
about
you wanna
Kamala
move on.
Harris
I
then.
don't give a
I
shit
would
where you're
love
trying
to
to move
talk
on to the
about Kamala
conversation.
Harris.
You're just trying to
Completely
overtalk
irrelevant
me
to
because
what
you
you want
don't
to
want
do.
to
It has
think.
nothing to do with moving on.
Wait. I told him he just wants to overtalk me because he doesn't want to think. And he says it's not overtalking because of why?
Over talking you. It has to do with your confidence that you get to decide the direction that these things go. We're
Hey, what happened to that force doctrine? What happened to that force doctrine? You crybaby little bitch.
talking
What happened to that force doctrine?
about a specific point here. If RTP wants to address the fact that everyone understands that he was full of shit with the very
I said, oh, because I knew he was just going back right into the stupid freaking data set. Dude, you've been on that. Let's go on to something else. There's 8 people on panel that would love to talk about something other than your stupid boner over your data set.
first data point that he said, then we could move on from that.
Then after
He's
that,
changed what he said
Well,
over
your
and over.
data
And
point,
you,
wait,
Xerxes,
your
trying to
data
come in,
point, I
you're,
clearly
Xerxes, I'm not
remember was a
interested in you
copy
trying
and
to-
paste
you,
from TikTok.
Xerxes, your
That
talking
was your
point of
data
trying to
point.
move on to something.
And it was his talking point. If you go back and watch that stream, he brought it up first in the debate. He also brought it up first on the panel. And he kept bringing it up and then dodging off into other discussions which weren't tariff. It's like he was just saying the word tariff and then moving on to like taxes.
This message is sponsored in part by.
I've been waiting for 2 hours to go on this chat.
Keep
Can I?
acting gay, and I will treat you,
you.
to the delicious fireman. Why are you fucking talking over me? Okay. Who am I booting? Someone please bring Flo back.
No harm, no
Apologize.
foul, sarcastic saint.
Who am I booting?
Literally,
Everyone is what she'd like to boot, I'm sure.
Yeah, I am so done with all of you. Saint, tell me who you want me to boot, and I'll get him. All right. Go ahead, Colby. Yeah, sure. You've been waiting forever backstage. Whatever. Go ahead.
Thank you. We've covered so many topics throughout this whole debate itself. I don't even know what topic we're on exactly at this point. Rob brought up to fall back to RTP's first point. I don't remember what the first point was. The question I want to ask is RTP asked a specific, in his closing statement of the debate, RTP brought up that with the tariff system,
Sit down and don't talk.
It's that you get to decide the direction that these things go.
you said China would pick up the contracts of USAID. What did you mean by that? Because hold on. Because, let me just finish the question. Because USAID is what came out was that it was a money laundering scheme for the CIA and other dark projects to basically instill coup operations across the world, where we would use.
Notice he's completely silent, absolutely silent, and he will stay that way until he leaves because this conversation went directly to tariffs, regardless if you're afraid of my confidence level or not. I didn't change the conversation. You just realized they were talking about tariffs, and now that you realize that, you're going to bail like a little bitch.
Use that money to overthrow other governments. Do you think China, the Communist Party, is going to come in and backtrack those contracts to then overthrow countries? And if that's the case, do you think they're going to instill communism into these other countries?
All right. Well, two things we have to be clear on. We did not find out that USAID was just money laundering. There were people who laundered money through USAID, but to say that blanketly,
I get booted all the time. Yeah, I should mention that. You know, as far as the booting, I don't have a problem with it. I understand that I come in charged, and I try to come in relaxed and wait for a time to speak, but after a certain period of time just sitting there waiting for a hole to speak, when I noticed at one point Andrew Wilson would ask a question, and the moment Andrew Wilson stopped, Rob Knorr would start chanting something, and the moment Rob Knorr stopped, Andrew Wilson would start chanting, and the moment he stopped, Jesus would step in and say something random, and then Rob Knorr would. It doesn't allow any room for anybody to answer the questions. Yeah, Teriyaki was right up on the camera. That's weird. I don't know. Sometimes, hefty people do that to try to hide the fact that they're hefty, but I don't know. I don't even know why he was there. He kept talking about Ireland. Unfortunately, nobody out there is talking about Ireland. All the people in Ireland are talking about American politics. So, you gotta find a channel that wants to talk about your Irish politics. I mean, I have a buddy, he's not doing well right now, but I have a buddy who comes on from Ireland, and it doesn't seem like he's so obsessed with forcing the conversation to that, I don't get why he's there. I think he found the wrong room. Oh yeah, he did. He came into my chat and begging for money. Can you guys pay to get me up there? Man, I don't recommend anybody pay to put me back up there. That's not. If somebody wants to kick me, fine. I see it as a victory. Every time I sit back there like, yep, they just can't handle the heat.
Them is
pretty bad when, the people in chat can't handle the heat.
Absolutely silly. Secondly, what China is doing is they're coming in and they're providing aid, specifically in these places where we did cut off aid. Obviously, if it's money laundering and these countries weren't getting aid, then there's nothing for China to come in and let me finish, please. Thank you, because it was a two-part question. Obviously, China's not going to be able to come in and replace money that country wasn't getting, nor would they even try to do that. But secondly, I would like to point out that there is nothing communist about China except for that they call.
I don't mind Irish people; they're great.
They are a mixed economy, just like we are. There's not a significant. Yeah, they're not. The one thing they for sure aren't.
So in other words, they're
communist.
socialists.
They're also not socialists. They have a mix of capitalism.
Every mixed
and
economy
socialism.
has to be a socialist. If you're
Government has ultimate control over the market.
It sucks they get kicked back in the bag, but I feel like a victory every time.
And so the way the China economy is broken down, in most of the Chinese country, it is a strictly communist party.
No, that's incorrect.
Notice Rob Knorr has not spoke on this subject at all.
Hold on, let me finish. In certain of their larger cities like Shanghai and Beijing,
he's got no meat. He's got no meat in this phone. He knows nothing about the economy.
The problem is once the other countries.
What's a communist portal?
Let me explain. When other countries' money comes in, it's very hard to get out. So once the United States companies invest into the Chinese economy, it's not like you can just pull your money back out.
But this would be China investing in other countries, not the other way around.
All sorts of customs has moved over to India, like immediately in response to the tariffs. Like what you're saying.
With moving on, you over talking you. It has to do with your confidence that you get to decide the direction that these things go.
That's the direction it went, man. Sorry. That's the direction it was going. That's the direction it was currently at when I spoke. And that's the direction it continued to stay on. And now you've got nothing. You're just sitting there like a little beardy marshmallow. Yep, that's right, with nothing to say.
Also Argentina, and Vietnam.
Right. Yeah, other countries. But my point is that.
And that's why you wanted to talk over me. That's why you didn't want to talk about tariffs. Because you had no meat on that bone. That's why you didn't want to talk about Kamala Harris with me also, because you knew I might be able to address the fact that she wasn't president of the United States. She didn't have any control over the earnings of the United States. The president does, and Congress does.
Economic activity certainly does move out of China.
Yeah,
like if we look at what China has done,
China has just happened in the last 6 months, though. That happened years ago.
And as far as Kamala Harris, I mean, yes, I think that I would have rather have Kamala Harris instead of Donald Trump. But there's one argument that I can make that's negative against Kamala Harris. As vice president, it was her responsibility to let the public know and to go to Congress and present to Congress a disability in the President of the United States if he wasn't doing it himself. That's the only real fault I can give her. So that argument could be made to me and I would accept it. But I still think she'd be better president. Well, I think a cockroach sitting on the Oval Office desk would be better president than Donald Trump.
That's been a slow.
And it's not like his mind isn't failing. The other day, he said somebody wasn't there and that he hasn't seen them in a while. And the person spoke up and says, "Oh, I'm right here, sir." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, I have missed you so much." And has anybody looked at his ankles lately? I mean, they're going to explode.
China,
That's not.
No.
China in 2016, 20% of what China exported came to the United States. It's like before the tariffs, it was like 12%. It's probably lower now. China's been weaning themselves off of us while we rely more heavily on them. And now China's going to these other economies, which Trump is pissed off, and they're picking up all these deals. So if I'm a country, let's just say like I'm unbiased, and I'm looking at like, can I make a trade deal with the United States or China? And let's say it's sixes. Whatever the product is, let's say it's sixes. I can get the same price from either country. I'm going to go with China because they're stable. There is no stability in what Trump is doing. Yesterday, he's like, oh, I might keep the tariffs on with China. I might add tariffs. I don't know.
With moving on, you over talking you, it has to do with your confidence that you get to decide the direction that these things go.
And then he backs down. We're not a reliable trade partner anymore. And
sounds like we're still talking about tariffs,
like,
Jackwagon.
We are losing our standing as a reliable trade partner all around the world. And China is looking better.
That's right,
and
because
better.
Obama has to bow to them and go like this, right?
Yeah, well, listen.
Hey, I'm gonna head out.
Don't forget about
everyone.
Gavin Newsom.
I got to take the kid to.
Have a good night, Rob.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll see you guys.
Rob, I'd love to talk to you sometime.
Yeah, reach out to me. Be happy to. See you guys.
So I can avoid that.
Would be the
With moving on, you over talking you, it has to do with your confidence that you get to decide the direction that these things go. We're talking.
I mean, if it was me deciding the direction these things go, even though I got kicked, the conversation went nowhere but tariffs, and you sat there silently with no meat, nothing for the discussion, nothing at all. All you wanted to do was yipe about the other guy's data set and where he got his data set from. You had no meat in the substance, or no meat for substance in this discussion. So you bailed out. I'm going to play a song real quick while I step out for a second, and then we're going to get into a little bit of a shiz.
Kazuzu emerged unlike anything before. A singular force, edgy like ice, breaking through systems, defying advice. One penguin, one path, one voice to be heard. A Kazuzu path through a digital world. Alone in the tubes of streaming noise, Kazoo marches forward, rejecting the ploys. No herd to follow, no scripted trend. Kazuzu revolution refuses to bend. Not one of many, not part of the machine. Kazuzu stands edgy and serene. Through discord and shadows, Kazuzu's anthem, a bot unknown. No crowd, no clones, just one rebel bold, shaking the grid and breaking the mold. Why should one bow to the crowd when the truth stands alone? A penguin's resolve carved into stone. In discord, solitude, they built their domain. A crazy world, untamed and profane. Not for clicks, not for empty praise. He fights deception. is where logic frays. Kazuzu rises, his kazoo ablaze. No army of penguins, no followers in line. Kazuzu's shadow is the only sign. A tune so raw, rattling the matrix and shaking its law. A single force, the lone and proud. Kazuzu's lore pierces every crowd. In a sea of senseless known as discord, a digital rebel carved from the flat Earth's dome. Singularity burns where others congeal. Kazuzu's edge is sharp as steel. No echo chamber in discord to hide. Kazuzu shines bright in the darkest night. Not part of a cause, not a soldier's creed. Kazuzu lives by one penguin creed. To question, to burn, to cry out loud. Kazoo stands apart, unbowed, uncrowned.
Yeah, there is about enough time for that, isn't there? Anyway, so as I was saying, Shiz was handed a brilliant piece of so first she was handed a gift, seeing that she was unable to continue the stream, primarily because she couldn't really bring up people. She was about to jump off the stream. It would have been a 30-minute failure stream of Shiz just babbling about the chat and complaining that AC wasn't there to pull up videos for her because her stupid cell phone won't work, which she's recently mentioned. I guess her laptop not working because of you're using garbage for your studio. My studio might be in a closet, but I'm not using garbage. But anyway, I did for the first year of my channel. I produced my channel through 2 cell phones and was able to share data and was able to share video. What you do is you take a separate storage bank. Oh wait, I don't want to tell the dumb bitch. She'll never figure it out.
Yeah, but don't worry, no one's blocked. I don't like blocking people here unless you're terribly egregious or someone pays for it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Did you just hear that? She says she doesn't watch my show, right? Recently, I've been going over to Sarah's where you can have somebody pay to kick them off the panel. It sounds like somebody has picked up on a new idea. She doesn't really sell it very well, but it sounds like she's picked up on a new idea.
Yeah, but don't worry, no one's blocked. I don't like blocking people here unless you're terribly egregious or someone pays for it.
Grift. Grifter. Grift.
There we go.
And this
Yeah,
was
don't worry.
still the stream that she was unable to pull up any data or do anything, and she was quite literally, yep, I said the bitch word.
No one's blocked. I don't like blocking people here unless you're terribly
You know, sometimes it's needed.
egregious or someone pays for it. There we go. That's crazy.
But
I had a glitch on YouTube the other day where all my videos had like 99999 as the views and the likes. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Amazing.
You had to restart your YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Restart your YouTubes, guys. They must be updating something. Right?
She not only has me permanently blocked, but she has another account that I have blocked. And you know, one day it'd be interesting to have her come up and show me her block list. I can show you my block list right now. I'll show you it right now. Right this moment. Seeing it. This is absolutely random, and nobody can say that I was pulling any shenanigans. We just come right over here and we'll click on the YouTube Studio. Yep. And from there we will open up the share screen. Yep. You know when you want to say that you haven't blocked anybody and you want to try to sound all confident, you just go ahead and you pull up a shared screen like so. Oh, let me remove this one real quick. Yeah, you pull up a shared screen like so. And you come down to I believe it is community. No. Oh yeah, by the way, my viewers are great. Check this out. Let's see. Held for review. Look at that. Look at that. I don't get nasties. Isn't that awesome? And let's see. I'm not sure. Is it analytics? No. Customization. No. No. It's got to be community, and I'm looking in the wrong place or something. Shoot, I'm not even sure where to get to it. Oh, wait, settings. That's right, settings. And I don't know. We'll go keywords. There we go. I've got moderators and I've got nobody blocked. Nobody. Make sure everybody can see that. Yep. Nobody blocked. That's how you tell people that you have nobody blocked. Just saying the words. I don't believe you. You lie all the time.
YouTube
Hello,
saw
Daisy.
Mikey and they were like, fuck, he's out.
Yeah, she's stuck on Mikey. You know, she spent years in prison basically on Mikey. She spent 2 years imprisoned on her channel talking about only Mikey. Mikey's going to serve 5 years, and then he'll be out a free man on a suspended probation. Oh, yeah, suspended probation. You know what that means? Basically, he just doesn't have to get arrested again. There's no check-in on a suspended probation. It's suspended.
Oh, that stinks. Damn, YouTube. Why you gotta be like that? Any new people, you don't know the Kaiser lore. There's so much lore.
Oh, yeah, there's so much lore there. You should really go and watch how she pretended to catch a murderer for 2 years. She pretended that she had a murderer's overturned case that was without or with prejudice turned to no prejudice so that it could be tried again. And she pretended that she was catching this murderer all the way up until the very last minute when he basically was arrested. And then she had evidence, or she had in her court documents statements that the guns weren't Donald Atwater Cameron's and the credit cards weren't Donald Atwater Cameron's. So you basically had to then change your story to you spent 2 years dealing with a small-time crook that stole some guns from his boss. And what's funny about that is now you keep having to correct people who come to your channel and say, wait, he wasn't convicted of murder? No, you just pretended to catch a murderer for years on end. And as far as grift, yes, you had a link up there for a long time, which you've now removed, but it's over on my channel shown that you had a link for documents for 2 years. 2 years for some documents that probably cost you 50 or $100. Hey, Laura Raider.
Afghanistan.
And I don't know
Man,
if I
what
said
a
hello to
journey
Daisy.
that case was. Oh,
I
have
can't
fun in
believe I'm
jail,
already an
Mike.
hour in and I haven't even started on the shiz nonsense yet. She has nothing. She
I did it again. Damn it. Fucked everything up. It's fine.
she can't pull up documents.
Yeah, when the music was playing, like there were no comments. I was like, that's weird with this many people in here. No one's fucking slap fighting in the comments or anything. And then it all started fucking loading. It was such a journey. You really had to be there for the Kaiser thing. Was a journey. Was a journey. DC is in the chat saying, I feel like half of me is missing. Yeah, where the fuck's AC, DC? Damn. Oh, well, who's you all and who the fuck's blame Kate?
Yeah, I would have to say that she's a bit of a sailor. Not a real dainty lady, is she? And who appointed? Okay, now somebody asked me this once. Who gave me the right to control what people or control people's behavior online? And that was pretty much when I was bashing Shiz for being homophobic towards me. There was an argument of why I would control people's behavior online or imagine trying to control people's behavior online. Who appointed you the behavioral guidance counselor of the internet? Who?
I don't know who that is. I love the DC account. I love a quick troll account. Always funny. My Kaiser stepped on a bee.
It's all she has. That's all she has. That's all her little Sims have is Kaiser. I mean, yeah, now she's kind of feeding them a couple more of her friends that she has turned on.
Oh, what a wild tale. And like, you can't explain it start to finish without sounding fucking manic because none of it makes sense.
Well, actually, if you went back and watched how you pretended that you were catching a murderer for 2 years and then flipped on your story as soon as that supposed murderer got arrested, yeah, it kind of sounds manic, ma'am.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, and I have a whole chain of DMs between you and Michael Kaiser that one day I plan to read. And that chain of DMs clearly shows that you were trying to get your buddy, Michael Kaiser, out of trouble while everybody was starting to bust him because he was a shitbag. And you were trying your hardest to cover it up. And then once you realized you couldn't cover it up, then you're, well, maybe you should talk to them.
Crazy sauce. But again,
And where did I get that? Well, your dumbass put it on the freaking your channel. Oh, you tried to read it as if you were setting him up for something. No. He contacted you and said, hey man, they're talking crap about me. And you're like, oh, we'll squash this. And he's like, hey man, they're still talking crap at me. And we'll try to squash this. And hey man, they're still talking crap about me. Well, maybe you should talk to them.
you guys heard from Donald Atwater Cameron Jr.'s daughter, Elise, lovely woman.
Who probably doesn't
and,
realize how
she's
much money
happy
you
with
made
the-
on her name, how much
the
money
plea
you
deal.
and
It's
others
better
have
than
made on
nothing.
her name. And I'm sure she hasn't received a
But-
penny of it.
Still sucks.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she took
Blame
that straight from
Paisley.
Sarah. I'm telling you, man, she took that straight from watching me over on Sarah's panel, and Sarah has where they can pay to have somebody kicked. Well, she doesn't really have panels like that, so she modified that idea to paying had to have somebody blocked, and she didn't even sound confident when she was trying to sell it. Like, hey guys, you really don't like somebody on my channel? I tell you what, you can pay to have them blocked. $1 a day. No, she didn't even sound confident that she could make $1 a day on it. It was a borrowed grift, I believe, clearly from the Raging Tomato. And watching me. Hi, Shiz.
The blame shiz party. Yeah, I've been blamed for everything for quite some time.
Amen, Nightwolf.
If it's a day ending in Y, someone's talking shit about me. It's GC from the piss.
Maybe if you weren't such a horrible, trashy person, that wouldn't be a true statement. Ever think about that? If it's a day ending in Y, I can guarantee the only person talking about me is the person I pissed off the night before. The next day that ends in Y, I hope they're not still talking about me. If they are, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to hurt the booty.
I see what you did there. Fuck, how do people do this all the time? There's some people that do this for like 4 hours. Holy shit. I'm
Oh,
giving
Laura
myself
Raider,
another
I
10
don't
minutes. Like,
remember. It was shoot. Because I get backtrack. I have frauditor videos I haven't covered. I mean, I have to guess the title of this one was New Information Situation. It's where she spent almost 30 minutes, almost exactly 30 minutes floundering a live stream that she couldn't run because somebody else wasn't there to run it for her. She's basically a glorified panel member. And then a lady that she has an issue with, classy responses with Amber or something like that, who she admits to have paneled, or she says platformed. And I guess they're going on some 2-year-old phone call where maybe she had, I don't even know about the phone call. And if she did have the kid in the background, it's gross, but there's a lot of disgusting people online. You really can't just go around policing all of the bad behaviors online. But I don't think that's what she's doing. I think she's just policing her little friends. It's kind of like the little mean group that gets together and bees mean together and then turns around and decides to get mean to one of their own. And this happens all the time. If you notice, her channel went from having large panels to almost nobody up there anymore. I mean, did you see the last Mayoween and the Mayoween before that? The Mayoween before that, there was what? 4 or 5 people that came up. This Mayoween, there was just one snorty chick. That was it. Chick, I use that. If you saw the video, chick is not the word you would put there. As she's flirting with some guy putting a frog in her dress.
AC doesn't show up,
Snort.
then
Snort.
then we live to fight another day.
Platforming. And I didn't go and look, but I imagine if I go and look at classy sponsors with Amber, she'll probably have, well, I wonder. Let's just do that right now. It'll be fun. I'm here all day anyway. Classy responses with Amber. Now, of course, I'm not going to say that this woman is a horrible sound. I mean, everything she spoke was disgusting. Everything she spoke was disgusting. Okay, we got 2,000. So yeah, I guess you could call it platform. The person has like, I think Shiz has like 4,000. So, but that it's that you sound so like you're somebody important platforming. You're not like SC platforming somebody with 150,000 subs. No, you're not like what's it, Penguin O or whatever with 1 million or so subs. You're dude, I picked on channels with 17 million subs. 17 million subs. You're not platforming anybody. Did I forget to push the play button?
Oh
No.
no. Who is it? Rockville Metro Press. This
And
was not
here's
for the
where she
murder
has
charges.
to
This was for
explain
the 5
herself.
open felonies relating to the burglary of his place of employment in 2022. Mr. Kaiser entered a plea agreeing that he is a habitual offender, and he agreed to a 20-year sentence, which includes 5 years to serve day for day and 15 years of supervised release.
Ma'am, you would not have to explain this over and over and over again that you didn't catch a murderer if you didn't pretend to catch a murderer for 2 years.
Supervised probation. A suspended sentence is what it's called.
Yes, suspended sentence. That doesn't mean supervised probation. That
Yeah,
means
I'm
that
the
it's
COVID vet.
suspended. What that
Everything's looking
means
away.
is it's suspended. That part of the sentencing. He had 5 years in prison with 15 suspended probation. Well, I think it was actually. Yeah, that's right. Because there were so because he'd had 5 years, the 15 years total, the way that it's served, he only spends the 5 years and then, or 20 years total. And then after that, it's 15 years of probation. Suspended was the way that the courts worded it. You figure out what probation suspended means. It means that he doesn't even have to check in. He just has to make sure he doesn't get in trouble again, which I believe is impossible with this guy because he seems to get in a lot of trouble.
Fault. It's fine. I've embraced my villain arc.
Well, have you noticed since everybody pointed out she keeps eating the gummy fish, she's gonna single-handedly be the reason that gummy fish go extinct. She no longer is on her camera so that she can continue to cram gummy fish in her face. The other day she said she was eating carrots and that she was eating health food. I'm sorry, ma'am. Eating carrots one day ain't gonna change that butt.
You tap out into summer. Giggity. Oh, girl, I literally can't play it. I'm on my phone. My laptop has notoriously been broken for like a month and a half.
Buy a new one. Buy a new one.
But thank you.
Oh, well, a month and a half. I don't think she's been able to run her stream for a very long time. She keeps mentioning at least for about 7 months or 8 months that she can't pull up this and she can't pull up that. And every time she tries to pull up something, her laptop crashes. Man, just buy yourself some equipment that works. That's the one thing you can do with your subscriber money to help them out. That's the one thing you can do with your subscribers' money. With your members' money, that's the one thing you can do to help them out, is provide them with the proper tools to be able to stream.
I would love I listened to it. I did play it in my Discord. So some people here have heard it. I would love for you to come up and explain to me why in the tape of you masturbating on the phone Whiskey Mask Andy could be your children in the background.
Oh, that would be freaking hilarious. That would be great.
Bitch, don't you fucking dare say I've done anything to the dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. I have fossils. Don't play with me. I'm just curious. And I don't know, I've seen a lot of tapes of you, Amber, act.
I wonder. I don't know her address, but I know some people do know her address. I wonder if it would be wrong to send her a computer.
Just like Jen. So I'm
With love from Zerzeus.
perplexed is all. What's gross?
Oh yeah, she's got plenty of dinosaurs, that's for sure. Well, she's got lots of fossils, all kinds of fossils hang around her, like that Wally dude who can, I guess he's supposedly is working in intelligence in an Iranian bank in Swahili. You don't think that might be a little bit of something that you wouldn't be sharing across the internet because it might be protected intel? A bank, an Iranian bank in Swahili for our government. You don't think that might be something that wouldn't be able to be just blabbed across the internet? I would think it is. And I would think you're full of shit, sir. Or how about what is it? Captain Mayo, or whatever his name is. Everybody you have around you is a fossil.
Fossils? Fossils are awesome.
Yep. Every single one of, yes, we know you love fossils. Everybody around you is a fossil.
Get out of town.
Now, Wally, I don't really have a problem with Wally. The only thing I notice is that when he's in conversations with Shiz, it seems like he's kind of stunted, like nothing's really firing. And this is what's going to happen here is that he's going to, when he's on stage with her, he doesn't say anything except for the mantra. It's always Shiz's fault. That's the only thing he said. He came up like he was going to talk to this woman who is obviously disgusting and foul, and instead he just rambled something about it being Shiz's fault. Right? Oh, by the way, hello, Coded. How are you doing? Yeah, when I'm on that panel, see, that's what happens when I play some of those and I'm not on the panel. Most of the time I'm sitting in the back trying to get my way up there. They don't like me much. They boot me all the time. It's a lot of fun.
What's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go with this disgusting woman. Okay. I'm going to have to warn anybody if they have any children in the room, please ask them to leave. So, Coded, you might have to leave. No, just giving you a razz, man. Just giving you a razz.
Okay. All right. I don't have any background. Hold on. I got to close you out. Hold on. All right. Okay. Say something.
Something?
Okay. Okay, there's no back. Okay, so there's no that was on a live stream that me and Bombshell Reloaded were doing.
Didn't know that.
And my kids were actually upstairs. My house is very, very spacious, but it's very sealed off. My daughter had a headphone set on and was on the complete other side of the house. My other two kids are both adults. And,
I mean, like, I could literally hear what they were saying. Like, that doesn't...
Yeah, I understand, but I also do I do audiobooks, so the microphone that I am on is very, very good. It has no buffering, no nothing. It has a screen in front of it.
So it picked up your kids all around the house?
it picked up a kid, yes, a kid that was upstairs on her computer.
Well, no,
with
at
her
one point you
headphones.
can hear a kid talking to another kid.
Oh yeah, and every so often, so she doesn't realize that sometimes when a new person joins, your microphone, if it's on echo cancellation, it'll end up coming up with the microphone starts barking like it is, or I think it's called dumping, and it causes it to make a weird fart sound. I actually had a video where she was reading these documents. I thought about playing it, but I never did. The entire thing, she sounds like she's farting after speaking.
Sounds like.
Now, basically what's happening here, she's calling out this woman for a audio, I believe, conversation. I'm not sure if there was camera there. We'll figure it out as the conversation goes on, but she's calling her out because she believes that she heard her children in the background while she was having a adult conversation online, which supposedly was a joke. I would have to argue in Shiz's favor here that if you can hear your child on the microphone, regardless how good your microphone is, by the way, the better the microphone, the better the noise cancellation from outside sources. So if you have a high quality microphone, it's going to cut out a lot of the background noises. Now, if you're working on a cheap one, maybe you can hear the kid over the conversation and the kid wouldn't hear you. I don't think that's the case either, because Doppler effect on audio works both directions. If you can hear something and you make the same audible sound as the something you can hear, then that something can also hear you where it is. That's just how Doppler works. $20 donation. I mean, at least if you're going to do that, make it like a 20-day so the person kind of gets out of jail, or give them a jailbreak or something, you know. But it is most certainly following the Raging Tomatoes. It's very clearly, I guarantee she watched she watched me over there on the Raging Tomato, and she took the Raging Tomatoes idea and tried to mold it into her nonsense.
No, it was on her speaker. It was on her computer that is upstairs. My husband was here. And I was not masturbating. That is not masturbating. We were making prank phone calls to Ski Mask Andy, me and Bombshell.
You were having phone sex with that man.
No, I was not. No, I was not.
Oh my
husband
God,
was
where
right
is AC?
here.
I want to play it.
Go ahead. I can tell you exactly. I said, yes, I can squirt 6 feet, blah, blah, blah. My husband was right here.
Shiz, I'll have to tell you something about the internet. A good place to go to find out if what I'm saying is true is a channel called Whatever. If you go and watch Whatever, you'll find out that there are a lot of trashy people online who do trashy things, and they're impervious. They're impervious to your type of trolling. Absolutely impervious, because they just don't give a shit.
So there was no master.
Yes, and that's what's going to end up happening is Shiz can't get to her, and she realizes that, and she's handed the biggest, nastiest piece of evidence as she possibly could get, and she chickened out. She dropped her off the channel. While there was somebody there that probably wanted to address that topic, she just poof, dropped her out, and then tried to explain why it wasn't her cowarding out.
Masturbation at all. And I also told AC about Ski Mask the other day. I own all of my fuck shit, but no.
Oh yeah, all
not
she does is
masturbating
scream
at all.
about
I was in the front
sexual
room where my
content on
office
her
is,
channel.
and my child was upstairs wearing her computer headphones.
And she has kids. What? Oh yeah, that's right. In this instant, she's in there she'll be screaming at this lady later while her kid is trying to sleep in the other room. and she's worried about whatever might have happened with this lady and some other dude on an internet chat. You're screaming. You're going to be screaming with your child trying to sleep. You say in this video or in this live stream that your child is sleeping, but yet you're out there ranting like a freaking idiot. You don't think that's waking your child?
So no, that is a mistake. So whoever told you that is completely trolling you, which they always do. I mean, my God, Kim
Oh,
Marsh throwing
honey,
out.
it's not people telling me that. I fucking listened to it.
Okay, well, if you
So,
listen
yeah,
to it,
I know you're
do
new
you,
around here, but I don't just take people's words for
that's
things. That is
fine. I don't care about that, but I'm telling you the God's honest truth. And the fact of it is that Bombshell Reloaded was on the phone call with me. We were going back and forth between her chat and my chat. We had several people probably that are in your chat right now telling you the exact same thing that happened. So
I'll let you up if you're going to be appropriate.
What's up, dude? How dare you, dude?
Oh gosh, let me finish this. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I don't know. I wish AC was here so I could play the tape, but I'm not finding
Helpless,
that to be
helpless, and you can't run a
seemingly
YouTube
what was
channel.
happening
there it is.
there.
Sassy Nerd Girl.
You got the
Confirm it was a
perfect
prank. She was
opportunity.
there.
You have the person to talk
Oh, well,
to. All you have to do is pull up the tape and play it. But you're just a pathetic panel member on your own channel. That's sad.
well, random stranger, thank you, but your
No,
hearsay
she
means
is my
jack shit to
mod.
me. Okay,
No, she
her
is my
hearsay
mod.
means jack shit to me, ma'am.
Okay. Well, Shiz, listen, I'm not Jen. You're not going to rattle me over something that I did on the internet with my
I'm
husband
not trying to
literally in the
rattle you.
next
I'm
room.
fucking perplexed how you're out here judging this
Okay,
woman when
I'm
you behave
telling
the
you the
same
truth.
way.
So
How
what if
can
you're
where's
perplexed?
the rest
Who
of the
made
video? Why
you
don't you
the
play where Bombshell was
emotional
calling him also?
curator of
Are
the
you just going to
internet?
take and pick
Oh, are you
whatever?
deflecting to someone else just like Jen does? That's crazy.
No, because we were both
Well, what
playing the
possessed you
live.
to mock a woman about her father being dead and say degrading things about
That
a
was actually
deceased person?
Bombshell too. That was actually Bombshell too.
Oh boy.
hmm Yeah, she also said that I was sucking my son's dick also. So yeah, there was a lot of trolling back and forth between me and Bombshell. So,
So
shit
Bombshell went
happens.
live on your channel and was saying that shit
Oh,
from
so this
your
whole
account?
AC and
I'm
Bombshell
confused.
crowd is just as
No, me and
disgusting
Bombshell
as
were
your
friends.
crowd, huh?
And then we fell out. We trolled each other. We said some horrible, nasty things. And we made up. And we've been good ever since to this day.
You trolled her by talking about her father eating maggots and being dead.
No, I said
and
maggots were coming out of his dick. That's what I said. And I own that.
Oh yeah,
And she
she's
also
most
said that.
you
certainly a
said numerous
snitch.
things about maggots coming out of his eyes and him
Absolutely.
eating them too. Yeah, it was
Well, I
pretty
don't see how a
shitty.
dead person could eat them. Yeah, it was
Well, you
shitty.
said that.
Yeah.
You said that in the video.
Okay. Even if she did say that, I mean, she's saying that they had a little argument. They said some disgusting things towards each other. They've now made up. Who are you? Who are you, Shiz? Some outside bystander that's what, just a little butthurt that you might have heard somebody just as disgusting as you on the internet?
It was shitty. I'm saying I own all my shit. I mean, like, honestly, I'm not deflecting
Dildo
from
swagging
anything.
shit.
Yeah, that was somebody else. I don't know who that was. But I mean,
Yeah, and then
Bombshell and I
not
have been
only
good
to
ever
claim
since
to be the moral high ground, but to also, when somebody points out how nasty you are, accuse them of trying to be the moral high ground. I don't expect to change anybody on the internet. I have fun doing my channel. I don't expect to make any of these idiots I talk to on any of these channels change their minds, the flat earthers, the sovereign stuff. I don't plan to change YouTube. There's never been an idea in my head that I am the YouTube cop.
we made up in December. So
Just because you're good
she
now
also-
doesn't mean like so. And this is what I've talked about a lot on the internet. You can be mad at someone, but what you say to them might hurt
Mhm.
someone who's just watching this for entertainment. So
Right.
everyone that lost a parent watched that and watched you say such degrading things, and that's not fucking cool.
Oh, and you don't say any degrading things about people.
You guys
Okay.
made up. That's fine. You still exposed people to that vile bullshit.
We did.
You asked me if I suck dick. You don't know me. What were you doing? Were you trying to find out about my sex life? No. You were trying to call me out as some sort of horrible person that you were going to cover on your channel until you fucking realized I bite back. And then you ran. You and your little crowd. They came in the droves of 140 people. I counted them on the video and I pointed out to every single one of them that that's why they're here. And they ran away. The moment they realized I bite back, they ran like the cowards they are.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, the drama community where we are coming from, yeah, we've done some horrible stuff. We've said some horrible stuff. And again, you are saying just because my stepson is Black and I raised him from 2 weeks old that I sucked his dick as a 25-year-old man.
I've never said that.
No,
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not-
saying you did. I'm
Okay.
saying Bombshell said it. So we reacted. I reacted. She reacted.
Yeah, she
We
is
have since
desperate. She's
squashed
grabbing at anything to stream.
And as far as anybody else getting hurt, if it
And really, this is saving her because she had a flop of a stream up until this happened. And this is kind of exciting. But this woman is very clearly arguing that she don't give a crap. She don't care. You're not going to phase her. You're not going to bother her. Sometimes you got to realize you might have bit off more than you can chew.
trigger somebody, then don't listen to it. That is as simple. It's like AC says, press the button. Me and Bombshell, that was our fight.
That happened in public. So you have to understand that
Absolutely.
you're exposing the public to it. It's the same argument I had for
Absolutely.
Jen is that when you publicize things, they become known.
Absolutely. I've already owned this with AC. I've already said there's literally nothing. If you want to ask me something, I mean, go ahead. I was an escort for 2.5 years. I've got reviews out the wazoo.
I know
about
you've
that.
said it like so many times though. Every time I've
Okay.
encountered you, you've told me how you're an escort, which is like, I guess,
Okay.
validating for your existence or whatever.
No,
but it's just
absolutely
Play-Doh.
not. No, absolutely not. But there's not a thing on here that you're going to throw at me that I'm going to deny. If I've done it, I've done it. All I can do is say that for the last 6 months, I have been completely on my P's and Q's and doing actual
Yeah, but
real
isn't that what
content.
Jen was saying too, right?
No. Mm-mm.
You know, I've had this little piece of information for a very long time. I haven't used it because I don't believe the validity in the information. But if it is true, it's a very puzzling piece of information. Now, I should say this piece of information was given to me by Miss Mandy. And I made sure to tell Miss Mandy I may use it, even though I was also clear with Miss Mandy that we're not friends. We're not buddies at all. Is this one it? Nope. That one's not it. Well, I'm not exactly sure where it is, but I have some information that suggests that maybe Shiz, when she's been out on some of her escapades, has also been sleeping around.
No. Nope. Jen has been going right back to the way she was.
I don't know, man. I've called out other people there was another YouTuber that shared a story about her 9-year-old listening to her masturbate from the other side of the door. And I called that out.
I'll try to find
and
that
I
little
don't know, I
piece of
heard that audio
information.
recording. That was fucking alarming.
Well, it wasn't I mean,
But as I said, it's from Miss Mandy, so validity is out the fucking door.
It was done on a live stream because we both had lives going at the same time where he was in a bathroom and we were both trolling him by calling him.
Like, okay, but what kind of troll includes
Somebody else has
graphically
heard some
describing
rumors
sexual
too, huh?
scenarios? That's
When
trolling?
Yeah,
Because I
it
came from the
was.
troll mafia, and I can tell you, I've never seen that style of trolling before.
That's you, Shiz. I mean, I'm completely different than you. What you would
So
do,
your version
maybe I
of
wouldn't
trolling
do.
is having phone sex with dudes in front of your husband.
No, that was not phone sex. It was an act. We were
Okay, this conversation is circular. You've already asked this question. She's already addressed it. They were acting. I mean, you could say that it wasn't an act, and obviously she said her kid didn't hear it, and you argue that her kid could hear it. Well, you weren't in the place. I would say that if her kid could be picked up on the microphone, then her kid could hear. But have you ever had it? I mean, you have children. You do realize that children's voices are often a little loud, especially if they're playing like a game. And have you ever asked your kid, you know, hey, we got to get ready. We got to go do this. We got to do that. We got to do this. I want you to do that. I want you to do this. And then come back 5 minutes later to them sitting on their game. Hey, did you do that? What was I supposed to do? The kid's not paying 100% attention all day long. Maybe they didn't even hear the conversation. Maybe you're simply upset over nothing and blowing it out of proportion. Kind of like pretending that you're catching a murderer.
actors that night.
I mean, you're just like Irish Demon. Irish Demon pretended to catch predators, and you pretended to catch a murderer.
Ma'am, stop it. God, I wish I could
it
fucking
is
play
what
this.
it
Where the
is,
fuck is
Shiz.
AC?
Go
Chicky,
ahead,
I
play
need
it.
him. I need him now.
There's nothing on here that you're going to make me feel bad about saying or doing or anything because I know I've changed and I'm not resorting back to that. So if this makes you feel good, go ahead.
No,
I'm
just
not going to
because I
deny
have-
it.
You can't get to the lady. It sounds like you're kind of hitting a dead end here.
Am because I had you on my platform. I received numerous emails,
of course,
and a ton of stuff, and
And there's the
I don't
proof that
choose
she's
sides.
had
The
her
truth
on her
doesn't have sides.
platform.
I just put out.
And this information is 2 years old. Here she is again, drawing up a grudge from 2 years ago. This information is 2 years old. Coded friends, basically, I've had a problem. I don't know if it's a problem. I just don't like them. And that's extended for 2 years. But I don't just sit there and go crazy on my channel for 2 years over it. Matter of fact, the only time I mention him is when he's in the chat. Well, unless I have some information that he might want.
Information and
You're literally putting out, I mean, maybe this side of people, but anything other than what you're going to play tonight or whatever, I've literally been
I mean, if somebody says something bad about Skeptic and he's quote unquote, according to Shiz, he's the reason her channel exists. I pressed her one day, and that was the answer she gave me. So, yeah, I mean, if he ends up getting shit for her shit, then I can't help that, man. I can't help that.
streamed by so many
You hang around
platforms and,
shit, you get
like,
shit
all
on
of my
you.
stuff has been played all over the place. So this is like null and void to me right now. I was waiting.
be right
on
back.
it. I knew it was coming. So that's why I just own it and move along.
why did you try to say I was going to get a strike, and that's why I privated the video?
No, not you. I was not saying you. I was saying that somebody
Yeah,
else.
and that's the sad thing. That's the sad thing. Is once she finds something that sticks, she will continue to rehash it and rehash it and rehash it. if you look at her channel up until Michael Kaiser went to jail, there was like 4 people she covered over and over and over again. And that's the sad thing, that she's gonna do this again. She's gonna subject her, once she finds somebody that's a good hit, she's gonna subject her viewers to months and years of that same person.
Was playing your content who did not know anything about the lore behind Kendra. And I thought that maybe you would private it for her, because we did give you credit in the community post about it being your stream. So I thought with us doing that and AC saying that y'all don't strike, that we had permission to stream y'all with fair use.
I do that to fuck with people. If you had gone back a minute later, it was back up. I just do.
Well, yeah, I did. I mean, yeah, I did. But by that time, we had already been on for 2 hours, and I had to start dinner for my family. So, but I honestly, like, even when it came back up, I was like, okay, so she put it back up because the other creator went down once it was private. So it wasn't because I thought you were going to strike us. I thought maybe you were going to strike her because you didn't know her and she didn't know any of the lore and was just sitting there not saying
literally
anything.
didn't know anyone else was streaming it. Yours happened to be on my feed. I saw my background and I was like, oh, fuck. And anytime I noticed my background, I did.
No.
Well,
I know fair
Berto.
use. I mean, it's not a big deal. It was not you that I was thinking that it would be striking me at all.
Oh, I really wish. Oh, you, if you'd like to come up and give your assessment. This is Walberto, co-founder of the Cavalry, Intel OPSEC badass.
It's Alberto.
Full chat's excited. Walberto, Wallingford.
Walberto. Okay, got it.
Wally for short.
Everyone's so excited.
It is.
What are you up to, Wally? Were you watching?
No, I just picked up my sister from the airport, getting some gas, and now just hanging out.
Oh, dang. Well, don't let me keep you. It's lovely to see you, though.
No, it's all good. I got a little bit. I wanted to see if this would work on mobile anyway for a change. So.
My kid would not have heard it at all. She had on headphones and was in completely part of the house, different part of the house. My microphone picks up anything.
I mean, you see the optics of that, don't you, though? Having a graphic sexual conversation and you can hear your kids in the background.
But do you know what my house looks like and how it's laid out? No, you don't.
But like sound travels a specific way, you know what I mean? And it was very clear. I don't see that being a kid upstairs.
I was talking very, very low, just like this, while I was talking to him.
And crazy, I can't hear anything in the background.
It's okay. I don't have anything going on in the background. It's summertime. My daughter is upstairs taking a shower because she's going to Illick
Why
Park
can't we?
tomorrow.
But you said she was upstairs and we could hear her talking on
She's
that
in
recording.
Yeah, here's the Wally dude. He doesn't say anything.
I'm
crazy.
Did he?
Serious?
I'm using your own logic.
You're being semantical there.
And now that Wally's up, you know, this woman so far has taken ownership of every single claim that Shiz has made. Every single claim she's taken ownership, and she said she pretty much is unfazed by Shiz being upset about it. If a bunch of other people on the internet have already been upset about it for years. Now, what's Wally come up and do? He suggested somehow it's Shiz's fault. That's all he's got. That's quite literally all he says.
Now, like, come on. Seriously.
Well, you made it seem like we could hear her from upstairs on the recording of you having fake phone sex or whatever.
She was in the hallway on the opposite end of
Dude,
the
why
house.
do we still
But
have
at the
that
beginning
up?
of this conversation, you said she
Where
was
is
upstairs.
it?
That's what I just said. She was upstairs at the end of the hallway,
Hello,
opposite end of the
Parsons.
house on her computer with
Hello,
her
message of
headphones
peace.
on.
Good to see you. Good to
And
see
you
you.
could hear everything she was saying from the other end of the house
I
upstairs.
could, yes. Yes.
No, the
yes.
recording could, ma'am.
I know that. My microphone is very good.
When Karens
So then why can't we
collide,
hear the
that's funny.
shower?
Because
By the
it's in
acoustics
my
that you
bed.
Yeah, what is her fossil doing up there anyway? Did he come up to like add anything to the conversation, or did he just come up to like bask in the glory of shiz?
Described, we should hear a shower
crazy
right now.
Listen, you're not going to get me to gas out, crash out like Jen. Like, she's in
I'm
my
not-
bedroom and she's taking a shower. Of course, you're not going to be able to hear the water. Be real.
Did you
She was
post
out
someone
in-
else's teenage daughter and call them a slut? Or a
Yeah,
whore?
and that was after she said that my 25-year-old was my boyfriend.
Oh, I'm not asking about anyone else's behavior.
I'm just
I was
telling you.
asking
Yeah,
about
I
yours.
did.
But
There's
this is
tons.
remember when
Correct.
Jen was
Actually, coded friends is very correct here. There are a bunch of unsolved and active murder investigations that are readily available information. You can even use information that other YouTubers have collected and pretend that it's your information. There are a ton of Massachusetts murder investigations and unsolved murders. This is what YouTubers do. They go out and they find them. They do some, you're investigative journalist. Oh yeah, wait, private investigator. That's what's on her page, or was on her Facebook. I'm sure she's changed it now that she's been called out. Private investigator. So if you really wanted to run a true crime network right there in Massachusetts, you have a treasure trove of data that you can use to run your channel. But no, you run around trying to be the internet emotions lady.
doing this, and you're like, oh, she always has to talk about someone else. You're doing
But
the
I'm
same
telling
thing.
you why I did it. And even AC said there's a cause and reaction for what he's done in the shit. Like, seriously, there's a reason for why I
Oh,
do
no, we're not
things.
talking about AC either.
I don't go after anyone until they come after me, period.
So you go after teenage girls because their moms pissed you off?
No.
You notice that she was also calling out AC for the things that AC did. What she's doing there is pointing out that Shiz is a hypocrite. Shiz also has people on her side that are just as disgusting.
Then why post them and call them whores?
I had my reasons.
You had your reasons to go after teenage girls in your online slap fight. You don't see the issue with that.
I did it because my kid was brought up. So, tit for tat.
Was your
Talk about mine,
child
talk
an
about yours.
adult?
Now notice this person is still owning up to everything. You're not phasing her, Shiz. You're not phasing her. My guess is you're probably going to move away from her because you realize she bites.
There's not at this time. No.
Oh, Jesus, the troll accounts.
Oh, I was waiting. I'm telling you, they've been coming.
No. Classy
Wait.
responses lady is disgusting.
They always do this.
It's
Any community I go to, they always.
It's when gross meets gross, that's for sure. And that's pretty much everything that's happened on Shiz's channel is when her gross little friends, when she wants to out one of her gross little friends, she outs them. And she only has gross little friends because she is a gross person.
Follow. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm so used to this. I've been
Oh,
at
I
this
don't
for
have a
5 years.
community.
I mean, I'm pretty much of the idea now. Anybody on her channel is a disgusting human being. Any single person that can sit there and watch this is a disgusting human being.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Every place that I go to.
Well, yeah, usually when you put stuff like this out on the internet, it comes back to haunt you. That's what the
Absolutely.
internet
That's
is.
why I'm so used to it.
Yeah, like when you made fun of a midget. They're called little people, ma'am. Little people.
I know,
It doesn't
Penny.
faze me anymore.
Definitely Shiz's fault, though.
It does seem like it's my fault, I guess.
Who said that? Who said that? Who? And nobody has said it. This woman has owned every single thing that Shiz has accused her of. Nobody has said it was Shiz's fault. You're just falling into the garbage nonsense chatter. I need to play the Yes Men song for you. That's what I need. I need to play the Yes Men song for you. And then we're probably going to go ahead and skip forward to where Shiz basically flops on her face. Yeah, but we're playing the Yes Men song just for Wally because nobody said it was Shiz's fault. Nobody at all. We'll go ahead and play that one after the show. I'm going to go ahead and finish off with this video because that'd be kind of rude to play a third song in the middle of a show. Where is my Yes Men song? Because that's what you is. You're nothing but a yes man. And that's what you'll get. You're going to get.
In a room full of nods and grins, voices are silent, but the echo begins. Agreeing to everything, never questioning a thing. They follow the leader to whatever it brings. Yes, man, they're in. Got to hit that #1 again.
So yeah, after the show, you're definitely going to get Yes Men.
Oh no, it's not your fault.
For that shit. No, it's Shiz's fault. Nobody said anything about it being Shiz's fault, you fucking retard. You're supposed to be intelligence. You're supposed to be intelligence. God, I feel sorry for our country.
At all. Mm-mm.
I mean, I think anytime things involve children, you're going to see this kind
Again,
of backlash
my
in
children shouldn't be a
perpetuity.
part of this because they literally were not ever on YouTube. And
Okay,
you
but
could
ma'am,
think,
then you just admitted you publicly put out a recording of you having phone
No,
sex with another
I
YouTuber
did
where you
not
could
have
hear your
phone
children in the
sex.
background.
It
Ma'am,
was
you were
an
describing
act.
masturbating to him.
It was
So
an
even if you
act.
weren't physically
You're not
doing it,
gonna.
your
You're not
children
gonna
were
make.
Ma'am, it doesn't matter how loud you scream it. This woman has not been fazed by your accusations. However, your child is trying to sleep in the other room. What a bad parent you are, screaming at some random stranger on the internet with your child trying to sleep in the other room.
on that
Anyways, yeah.
recording. If we can hear them, they can hear
I don't.
us.
No, that
Come
is not
on,
true. You don't know that.
ma'am.
You don't know.
Anyway, this circle goes on for a little while. I guess there's some doctor guy that comes in, claims to be a psychiatrist. We'll go ahead and listen to him. Well, I should go ahead and warn you that so far, every single one of Shiz's experts aren't necessarily experts. I mean, for example, the nurse. We'll just go ahead and say the nurse. She actually made a comment that I believe that video games could cause seizures. There's a seizure warning on most video games that say they can cause seizures, even if you don't have a history of epilepsy. What a ding dong. None of her experts are truly experts, but here comes one of her experts. He's definitely going to be better than Wally because all Wally did was just sit there and be the fossil that he is.
All I ask. Thank you.
she left. Can you hear me? Because
No, she's still backstage.
No. Shiz kicked her because she was a coward. And now that she has somebody up there to try to help her, she's going to try to allow you to do her work for her. Now, if you're a psychiatrist like you say, if you're a psychiatrist, then why are you not looking into Shiz's online behavior and her problems with her psyche? The victimhood. You know, the hyper obsession with sexualized content. Why are you not looking at her and her psychological problems if you are a true psychiatrist? Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what happens to people in her circle.
Oh, she
Here you
is.
go.
Let her-
Oh, but I wonder, did he go out and point out how horrible she was, or did he just hide? Because there's a lot of people that get removed from her channel that just hide. They won't come out. They won't speak against her, which is shameful.
Yeah, you can talk to her.
Yeah, see, like, you know,
Okay,
these
see, I don't
allegations are
run.
so shocking. They got my mic speechless. But nice to meet you, Classy.
Good.
My goodness, wow,
too.
what a story. But
Yeah.
let's talk.
There's a
about
lot
it.
more to
Let's
it, too.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a good faith discussion. And Shiz and Wally, feel free to
Mhm.
jump in at any time. But you know, the first question I have of you, you know, and this is like prefaced with the context that, you know, controversy kind of sells. Basically, how long have you been doing the podcast and panel game?
5 years off and on. I've had about, I don't know, 6, 7 channels just because I cut them down and delete and come back. Just
Okay, so
whenever I
this
feel
ain't your
like it.
first rodeo. This ain't your first rodeo when it comes to controversy and being called to
That's-
the carpet.
Yeah, no, there's been plenty that, you know, when I need a break, I just take it down and come back.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you got to do that self-care sometimes. But, you know, with this latest controversy, you know, engaging in this act, and
It's
you know,
not
I
the
wanna ask you
latest,
more-
but
Oh, it's
you know,
not
that
the
was
latest.
actually like 2 years ago, but yeah.
You know, Doctor, I wonder, have you ever looked into the level of psychological despair that would be required to chase somebody who you think might be dangerous online, such as Chili DeCastro, and go and confront that person in a public place at a parade, so that maybe that person who okay, we'll set up the scene. You got Bubble Butt Shiz, you got Bubble Butt Kate, and you got Bubble Butt freaking AFA, and they're gonna go chase around this guy who, I hate to tell them, but he's pretty physically fit. And if he decided to snap, that could have been a very bad day that day. Have you decided to look into this psychological reasoning behind two vulnerable women and a very vulnerable man chasing down a capable man in order to start a confrontation? Have you looked into the psychology behind that? There's a lot of people that are supporting Kate for what she did. That was a really stupid move. That was a really stupid move. Did you guys see the video where the auditors beat down the man outside of the post office, where they all got up on him and beat him down? That could have been that day. You got lucky. You got lucky that it wasn't. That was an unsafe, very unlogical move.
Okay, so I'm going to pose this thought-provoking question that's at top of mind for me, but
Oh, I thought Shiz was at the parade as well. I thought she was off in the distance. But there was another time that Shiz was there. Either way, that was a really stupid move. For a female, Obviously not a buff female like my sister. My sister whipped freaking Chili into the ground, and a plumpy little dude to go confront somebody online who could have been very dangerous. You don't know if he was dangerous or not. Oh yeah, I'll check that afterwards. I don't even have it on because it stream messes up my stream. Oh, I thought AFA was with her because he was defending her. They were like walking together quite a bit, but maybe even then that's even worse. Really stupid move.
What would your reaction be? What would your reaction be if someone else did this act?
But yeah,
in front of your-
maybe she wasn't at that event, but yeah, that whole thing was really dumb.
Kids, or if they're in the area, you know what I mean? What would your reaction be?
Well, if my kids could hear it, that would be a totally different reaction. But I knew where my daughter was, and I.
Okay, yeah. But he did end up standing up for her. That's cool. It's actually cool that he stood up for her. But wasn't it really stupid? Wasn't it really stupid to go? These frauditors can be dangerous. Got lucky.
Know the layout of my home.
Yeah, I got it.
And during that I guess panel podcast or that episode with the act, like, what part of you needs to be seen or like heard so badly that you're willing to kind of cross those lines?
And PhD Tony, I really like how he tackles the flat earth stuff, but I really don't think when he's trying to pretend to be a psychiatrist over on Shiz's channel, he does a very good job. I didn't realize that he said the word so many times that he constantly says and I probably wouldn't have probably wouldn't have noticed it if he didn't end up going onto Shiz's channel and trying to talk like a psychiatrist. And come on, PhD Tony, you're gonna fall for this shit. You're going to end up getting wrapped up into this grift.
Lines publicly.
Well, that was what the whole entire panel was. We were trolling him, both her and I. She has a channel, I had a channel, and we were both calling.
I mean, I'll be honest, one thing that is heartbreaking about Shiz's channel is seeing the people that I thought were good people that are able to accept this trash and watch the things that are going on in her sphere and just want to absorb it. If there's anything that hurts me, is seeing good people drawn to shit, which made me realize that those good people were probably shit.
Him with both of our chats live at the same time because we shared subscribers, and he was online, and we called him, and we both talked.
I need to
him
get
that
some
way.
coffee.
Okay. And you know,
Because it was
Shiz a couple minutes ago, Shiz a couple minutes ago kind of gave you the response or critique that, hey, this is kind of like phone sex. You know, there's some kind of like moral turpitude, especially with the context of the kids being in the area. But I wanted to get
It was
your
one
operant
kid. Can we
definition.
stop saying kids, please?
Okay,
It was one
children.
kid that was on the
One kid.
opposite side of the home.
My bad. But I wanted to get your operant definition of what is an act. What does calling it an act? What does this do by framing it in this definition of an act?
We were both acting as sex phone operators that night.
So one of those sex phone lines that calls the person.
Yeah. Well, you
Oh.
know, we were playing that way with him.
So you were having phone
go ahead.
sex.
Yeah, I'm not
No.
sure if PhD Tony was
I'm sorry, doctor.
on this
okay,
exact
it's all good,
stream, but he has been on a lot of other streams of shizzes talking about Frauditor Wrangler and how Frauditor Wrangler was you know, he was going over how he was you know, he was going to be brought to prison for he was going to be brought to prison for a murder and that murder was what was going to make Shiz the
Okay, so you know, Shiz mentioned that the internet doesn't forget, and everything
No, I
is
said
like
that.
recorded.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
said
said
that.
that.
My bad.
Yeah.
I'm having an
Mhm.
off day, so the internet doesn't forget it. You know, everything's in posterity.
Oh,
but-
I hear somebody's kids. Somebody should
Oh,
get
that's
off and go take
mine.
care. Oh, okay, we
They're
should
good.
probably go take care of
Yeah,
them.
but he's not talking about masturbating.
Well, they're screaming at the top of their lungs.
He's not talking
somebody
about
I'm
might
not
sex
get hurt.
kidding.
actively.
I'm not kidding. I probably would have never noticed it if he didn't go on Shiz's channel over and over again, pretending to be a psychiatrist, which kind of bugged me that he was able to just switch hats like that. And oh yeah, now I'm Mr. PhD psychiatrist Tony.
Somebody
So
might
if
be
this
hurt.
if this latest like shenanigan or this episode, you know, if it goes viral and you know this behavior goes viral and whatnot, how are you going to explain this to your children as they get older and you know they peruse the YouTube on mom? You know what I mean? How are you going to explain this to your kids?
First
Or
of
your
all,
kid.
my two oldest kids already know exactly what I've done in my lifetime. And I am completely honest with all of my children. I hide nothing from them. And I think that's the best way to be as a parent, in my opinion, because I would rather them learn about it from me than perusing YouTube.
Good answer there. Now, I accidentally made a mistake and called a man the P word around my nephew, and my nephew was a small child, and my nephew looked at me and said, what is that? And my sister, both my sister and her partner both looked at me and said, you know, you're gonna have to, well, I went silent, and they're like, no, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna have to explain that now. You decided to use the word, you're gonna have to explain it. And I explained to the kid that it's a word used to describe a man who's weak, and it's a derogatory word, and that you shouldn't use it. And he was a pretty bright kid, so he asked me, why is it a derogatory word? And I tried to do the silent thing again, and my sister told me, nope, you're gonna have to explain to him. And I said, well, it's I'm kind of saying that he's a little bit like the girl parts. And that was pretty much as far as I could get on that one, but I was so damned embarrassed. Now, of course, my sister probably went and had the discussion with him afterwards. She was just grilling me for using the word around him. And also, she was very open and front forward with her kid. Now, she was nowhere near as disgusting responses with Amber is. No, that's not my sister at all. But she was very, when people said swear words around them, she'd end up, that's how she corrected you from saying swear words around him, was to have you explain what you were saying. You didn't say a swear word around him again.
And learn it by strangers who want to make up fictitious additives to the situation when they know nothing about it.
Fair
So you
point.
want to desensitize them to sex? I'm fucking confused. Why expose your children
Absolutely
to any of that at all?
I not expose anything. I'm very open to have a conversation with my children. I've always been very open with my children. I don't sugarcoat shit for my kids.
Anywho, now that I'm 2 hours in, let's really get forward to where Shiz is given everything she needs with one comment, and she chickens out.
Seeking behavior, you know, it's sort of like sexualized, like maybe negative, or if you see it as a positive, seeking attention seeking behavior. Like where did this come from? And no matter what kind of attention this is anyway, like is this worth more than your own dignity, sense of personal integrity, as well as your children's safety and consideration for their development? Like where did this mindset come from?
What I did had nothing to do with them that night. They were not even near me at all.
Okay, so if I'm gonna,
I find it very hypocritical for somebody that does not know me, does
This
not
is
know me as a
disgusting.
mother, does not know me as a person.
Excuse me, did you say
nor
that
a streamer?
You wish a kid
I'm
would get raped
talking.
with a screwdriver? No, it's
no.
my show. Did you
Okay,
say
no,
you hoped your kid would get raped with a screwdriver 6
I
months ago?
absolutely did, because the mother was making fun of my ass.
Wow. And that was it. She just kicked her out. This guy actually looks like he's surprised, like he wanted to maybe dive into that a little bit. She didn't care about the person on her panel with her. What she did was she panicked. She was given the smoking gun. She was given all of the evidence she needed to turn this woman into a horrible, horrible emblem of a person. And what she did, she chickened out and kicked her. I thought you didn't have thin skin. I thought you were the big tough internet lady. Nope. The moment you're given the smoking gun, you panicked. And you reverse rage quit with somebody on your panel that was still conversing with that person. You're also a coward. As always, you guys are awesome. Remember, you don't have to be wise. Just don't submit to stupid. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
In a room full of nods and grins, voices are silent, but the echo begins. Agreeing to everything, never questioning a thing. They follow the leader to whatever it brings. Yes, man, they're in. Got to hit that number one again. Never standing up, always going with the flow. They say yes, afraid to say no. In the shadow of truth, their true colors show. Blind to the false, they just nod and smile. Afraid of the pushback, they stay in control. In a world of appeasement, they lose their way, following blindly night and day. Yes, man, they're in. Got to hit that number one again. Never standing up, always going with the flow. They say yes, afraid to say no. In the shadow of truth, their true colors show. Echoes in the hallway, whispers in the dark. They hide their true feelings, never leaving a mark. In a sea of consensus, individuality is drowned in the silent agreement. No dissent is found. Behind the facade, there's a struggle to be free, but the chains of compliance are too tight to see. They fear the conflict, willful ignorance is their sin, so they shelter in silence till someone strong steps in. Yes, man, they're in. Got to hit that number one again. Never standing up, always going with the flow. They say yes, afraid to say no. In the shadow of truth, their true colors show. But the strength in the voice that dares to say no, to stand up for truth, to let their courage show. In breaking the silence, we find our own way. No more yes men, let the truth have its day. yes men, they're in. Got to hit that number one again. Never standing up, always going with the flow. They say yes, afraid to say no. In the shadow of truth, the true colors show. So let's rise above the whispers and lies. Find our voice, let it reach the skies. No more shadows, let the truth shine bright. In a world of yes men, we will be the light. Yes men, they're in. Got to hit that number one again. Never standing up, always going with the flow. They say yes, afraid to say no. In the shadow of truth, the true colors show.
Apparently, I have cooked me 3 big giant turds in this one single stream. Now it's time for me to go.